Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Press the wrong button at the wrong time. Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build, Paint, Play. I'm Dave.
Greetings, programs. I am Jake, and today we are going to be talking about new 11th edition, the Armageddon box.
Yep. Talking about a bunch of stuff there. We'll talk about some of the new things that we've seen that we're interested in, wary about. We're going to talk about some cool minis and some okay minis.
Gamer curious. I wore this for you, Dave.
Oh wow, check that out.
I even found my old name tag.
That's awesome. Very cool.
James is in the chat. James saw me wear this jersey for years.
Excellent. That's wild.
Yeah, I was going through my closet today looking for a sweatshirt. And I was like, oh man, I'm like, I'm gonna wear that today on the show. We're gonna talk about Warhammer. So
yep. Excellent. That's cool. I just thought I would wear the art of.
Very nice.
Final days of the current campaign. You got until Friday evening to join in, but link is down below. Go and pledge today. It'd be your lovely birthday present for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It is also Dave's birthday today for everybody who celebrates.
Yep.
Dave, what are you, 36, 37 now?
39. I can't believe
Okay.
it. Almost 40.
Nice.
How about that?
Yeah, you don't look a day over 35.
53. 53 is how old I am, which is kind of crazy.
Dave keeps me feeling young.
Yeah, because you're what, 50?
Yeah, I'm 50. I turned 51 this summer, but
excellent. Let's say hi to the folks in the chat. Josh is here. Josh Sawyer. It says, let's do this.
Nice.
Dave Hall says, cue the chaos. Chris Kemig says, hey. Scott says, happy birthday, Dave, and welcome back, Jake.
Thanks, Scott.
Happy birthday. Mark Maxey's here with us. Jim as well. Excellent. The only place where you're here. Thank you for telling me everything you know about 40K and not you may be autistic. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Josh is here as well. Josh Potter. Welcome, Josh. Thank you, Mark. And thank you, Josh. Fantastic. Awesome. There we go. Okay. Cool. How was ACD?
It was fun. Yeah, it's weird because it's like it's hard because if you don't go to trade shows, like it's hard to like explain it because like it's not really a convention, it's an expo. That's why they call it an expo. So it's like half the size of it's probably a little bit smaller than that. It's probably like a third the size of Gamma. They have some decent vendors that go. It's a little more low key. I actually like this show because it's pretty chill as a show. Like it's pretty low key in terms of events. I'll have to send you the photo. There's a great photo of Alan and I that are in the book that everybody gets.
Right.
like the show guide, which is hilarious. Like we're on the same page where it says for feedback, please see us. And I was like, it's great that we're there. So like all week we were the running gag was like, so what do you guys think about ACD? Like we were pretending like we were taking feedback. Danny Lowe, who's a good friend of ours, she's like the event coordinator. I'm probably screwing up her title, but she's one of her responsibilities is running ACD, the expo, and she's absolutely killed it. Like she has literally hit the ground running. They were like 30% bigger than last year. The other thing that's really fun about ACD is a lot of times when we go to this, there's a lot of vendors, right? So you meet people and you get to spend time and like ask questions, and they have like specials for retailers, and they talk about what's coming out and what their focuses are. But one of the coolest things is at a lot of these shows, like anywhere, you get stuff as like, samples, or you're like, here's a store copy or whatever. And at Gamma and stuff, it's like, okay, I have to either find a UPS and ship this back, or we're lucky enough we have a corporate account, so I'll box stuff up and I'll go online and then I'll leave it at the hotel and say, hey, can you leave this with your outgoing mail kind of thing? Right. But because ACD is also a distributor, they're like, oh, just bring everything to the desk and we'll ship it for you. So because we have an account, they just take it all and ship it to us. And I was like, it's such a small thing, but it's just genius.
It's such a big thing.
It's really convenient. It's very well thought out. So that's a lot of fun. And they do like a game night, which is really cool. So you get to go around and try stuff out, and they'll have, a whole hall full of vendors, and you get to go in and try out the game. And then for playing the game, you get tickets, and then they let you cash in the tickets, and they have like a, what is it? A pachinko with the board with the thing, and it goes on all the pegs.
Okay. Yeah.
They have that. So like you can turn in your tickets and you just win random stuff from their warehouse. So like Alan, like we always go together. So Alan and I will kind of hang out. And whenever I get like cutesy, like toy stuff that, we don't really sell, but he has 2 little girls. So we got like a box of, those little, it's like a little ball that's like this. It's like a gachapon ball. And then you basically take it out and there's like a shrink wrapped doll that they've squished all the air out of, and then it expands into like a doll. We got like a bunch of those, and I was like, give these to the girls. So like it's a good time though. It's pretty fun. Yeah. It's Plinko. It's Plinko.
Yep. Excellent.
But it was a good time. It's chill, and I got to kind of hang out and see some people that we know. So like, Alan, who we've had on the show, and our buddy Doug, who was at Gamma, and then he was at Free League. Like Doug, I got to see Doug, and the guys from Level Up Games in Atlanta. They have a whole chain of stores. Like they were really cool. We hung out with them. But yeah, it's the other thing that's kind of cool too is it's on, oh God, is it Lake? It's Lake Monona, and it's basically there's this big hotel that's right on the water, like right on the lake, and it's gorgeous. I'll send you the photo for next week. I forgot it's in my phone. I took like a pano shot.
Right.
And the hotel is designed by oh man.
Was it Frank Lloyd Wright?
Yeah. Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it like legit. It's a Frank Lloyd Wright hotel, and then there's a whole like Frank Lloyd Wright exhibit, and they have all of his like models that he designed to like, which is cool. It's basically like, it's terrain. It's like it's like epic scale. But yeah, it's just a really fun venue, and Madison is a really fun city. It's like really walkable. There's a ton of great restaurants. Every time I go to Wisconsin, I have a good time. Like Milwaukee's a blast. Madison's really fun. We took a day trip out to Noble Knight Games.
Okay. Right.
That store is, the store itself is probably about the same size as my store, but then they're connected to like a 50,000 square foot warehouse. It's like, imagine my store stuck onto like a Costco. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. And they do all of their businesses like online, like reselling and, used games and secondhand stuff. And
I bought some obscure stuff from them before.
Yeah, like they're super nice. And Steve Lemberg, who's a buddy of mine, he's worked for them for years. We usually see him at Adepticon and stuff.
Yeah.
So he works there. So we popped in and saw him, and it was fun. It was a good time. It was I enjoyed it.
I like their social media advertising is on point. But no, that's cool. I'm going to say hi to Brendan, who has joined us, and Luis is here as well. Very cool. Welcome. And Josh Potter says, yes, they built that facility not too long ago. So.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that they rely on, most of their business is online.
Yeah.
because like they're not getting any foot traffic. It's in the middle of an industrial park, like up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We pulled in and there's a huge parking lot, and there was like 100 cars in the parking lot, and a buddy was like, whoa, it's really busy. And then we went inside and there were like 6 customers, and I was like, this is all the employees, like this is all the people that work in the warehouse. Like it is a machine. Like they have a whole like organization that is functioning. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's great. Excellent. Cool.
How'd you guys do? I watched a little bit of the show. It looks like you guys had fun. Dan did an admirable job standing in for me.
He was very much a wonderful guest co-host again, as always. And yeah, it was great to have Clay on and chat about commission painting and all that sort of fun stuff. So, but it was good. Yeah, definitely good to be able to chat to him for more than like 5 minutes passing in the corridors at Adepticon. So very cool. But yeah, otherwise, I've been doing some painting, and
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, I'm working on some relic blade stuff, so I'm just going to flash up a little thing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show this, but I'm doing it for.
I can't answer that. The pig dudes.
Yep, and the war pigs.
Very nice. I think you can show them. We talked about them when we had them on the show. We can,
but I'm doing something for Sean, so which is pretty cool. Kind of excited about that. But yeah, I also have some photos of I did some gaming on Saturday. Yeah, I went to buddy Robert's place. We played. There were 4 of us. We played a couple of games of Trench Crusade. I got to take my Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent Sloth warband out for a spin, which was nice. But yeah, it was super cool.
Nice.
I have some photos that I'll show you in a sec. But yeah, apart from that though, busy. We got a new washing machine.
Nice
machine. So the laundry room had to be cleaned out before we could get the new washing machine.
Dave has just stacks of gray plastic in there. He had to move it all.
Yeah, basically. it was exactly that.
Wow.
But now we could put a shelving unit in, and I'm thinking of picking up a filament printer so I can start printing some more terrain.
Nice.
I think
fun hobby stuff. Alan printed up a artillery witch, but she's like a weird scale. He printed her just because he wanted to paint her. So right. She's big. Like she's not a 28 millimeter. She's probably like this size.
Oh, okay.
Like Inquisitor scale size. And then she's holding the bomb. It was really cool. I was like, I don't know where I'm going to do with it. And so I showed it to Ben, and Ben was like, oh, dude, can I have it? I was like, here, you can absolutely have that. So Ben's going to clean it up. It's a resin sculpt, but Alan printed it using his FDM printer. So there's like spaghetti all over it because of all like the filaments, because of the way it like, the way it cuts itself. He fixed it. But he was like, yeah, I printed a couple extra ones. So I got that. And then he was cleaning out his kind of office to like move some stuff around. And he found one of the McFarlane Primaris Marines.
Oh yeah.
That's unpainted.
Right.
It's one of the gray plastics. And he was like, dude, I'm never going to paint this. I thought you'd want it. I was like, I really appreciate it. I was like, this is not something that I do. I don't really collect like toys. Yep. And he was like, oh, well, do something with it. So I gave it to Ben, and Ben was like, dude, I'll paint it. I was like, awesome. So I was like, enjoy. But then I finished that. I mean, you saw it. My test model for my warband.
Yep.
She's done. And then I finally finished assembling and priming Noble Team. We finally had a couple of nice days, so I got them all primed. I'm going to keep chipping away at those. My plan is to get those done in the next like 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
Those have got to be delivered to Origins, and I was really nervous about shipping them because they're resin, and I was like, they're like, that's asking to get them smashed. So I'm gonna carefully package them, and then I have a buddy locally who's a game designer who's going to be going to Origins, and he's like, I'll take them, and I was like, awesome. So I'm just gonna be like, hand deliver these to the Mantic booth, please.
Fantastic. Actually, last week when we were talking to Clay, we did talk about shipping very briefly. Kat Swift had an excellent idea.
Yeah.
Or something that she used to do in one of her previous businesses was you get PVC. If it's something that you don't need to do it for this, maybe, but you get some PVC pipe that the things will, like, you wrap the whatever you painted in tissue paper or tissues or paper towel or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get some PVC pipe and you cut it down to like a regular length and you slide it inside and you can tape up either end.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, so it can't get crushed. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. I mean, however you put them together in a box is going to possibly rearrange or get crushed, but the stuff in itself.
My go-to is, so this is my favorite soft serve. This is Talenti.
Okay.
So I buy these and I always save the jars because they're good. Like they're not super hard, but they're hard. And then because it's round, like that shape is kind of crush resistant. So what I'll do is I'll wrap them all in paper towel and pack them in this, and then I'll just give this to him and he can stick this in his suitcase.
Nice.
But I have a ton of these like kicking around. I always save them whenever I'm done. So Heresy says, happy birthday, Dave. He has to get you a VB and a shoe as per tradition.
For sure. He's going to do a shoey, which apparently is an Australian thing. It was not an Australian thing when I was in Australia, but drinking a beer out of a shoe.
Sure.
Like, preferably one you've been wearing all day.
Gross.
That's what I'm saying. But
yeah, Phil was really excited about it. Phil got us a little cowboy boots when we were at Adepticon to do shots out of. And I was like, sure, little plastic cowboy boots. I'll do that. But
nice. Excellent. Alan has joined us as well. Hobbyist printer. But Scott Radham says, Dave, the Facebook post said you were pondering what new 40k army to start. Just a reminder, orc players never have a bad game. They're the happiest players on earth.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah, I have had an orc army before, but I no longer have that orc army.
I think the last time I had an orc army was 4th edition.
Right.
And it was like the complete opposite of an orc army. The army was hilarious. So it's really small. It was what's his name? The
Gaskell.
Who's the Gaskell? Yeah, so it was the old metal Gaskell.
Yep.
I want to say 5 mega knobs in mega armor.
Yep.
And then they were in a looted Land Raider.
Right.
So you had to pay the points for the Land Raider, and then you had the looted upgrade. So the Land Raider had red paint job, rocket boosters, armor plates, bolt-on big shooters. So I spent a ton of points on that thing, and then they all went in that. Yep. And then I had 3 zap guns with Gretchen crew. That was the whole army. Like it's the smallest orc army I've ever even heard of. So the trick was you'd have the zap guns on one flank, and then I'd basically put the Land Raider up as far as I could get it. And then on turn 1, it would move 14. And then you could assault because it was an assault vehicle, and you'd get the extra movement because of the boosters. And then basically Gaskell and his guys would just get out and they would just Pac-Man up the board. That's like, that army was hilarious. But yeah, that's 4th edition. So it's been a minute since I've had an orc army.
Absolutely. No, fantastic. But I will let you know up front, Scott. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should tease it out. But orcs are not in the running. There are 2 choices. I've got some photos later on. We can have a look.
Okay.
We can all start to chat about it and decide. Maybe not decide now, but we'll get some stuff.
I am kind of excited to paint that. Once we get into the box set, like that crazy, that weird orc walk thing, that guy, the new
kill rig or whatever.
Whatever it is, the new boss, the new mega thing.
Yeah,
that thing looks kind of neat.
Yeah, it does look cool. Very cool. Excellent. Okay, well, let's jump into we've got some things to take a look at. Oh,
hopefully there we go.
There we go. We found it. Cool. So first up, of course, thanks very much to the Army Painter, who are our season sponsors, and Jake and I are members of the Army Painter Factory team. I thought I would throw this one in here because not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, So the 12th, 13th, and 14th of June, the Army Painter will be at the Atlantic City Open. And not only will Kat and Caleb and Tim be there, but Phil will be there. Phil, Glacial Geek, from the factory team. And they're going to be running the Army Painter Challenge, which is kind of like Armies on Parade, but for every army. Like every game system is potentially in there. So they have a full army and a skirmish level as well. But you can head to the Army Painter website, linked below. Check that out. Go check out details there. But I think Phil's going to be helping judge the Army Painter Challenge as well.
Yeah.
So cool stuff.
Very nice.
Particularly as we're talking about that. Sorry, Brendan. Brendan says, Brendan originally said Blood Pact 2026. Dave Humble said, I second that. And Brendan said, that's a quorum. And Dave, is internet bound to deliver? No, I'm not. Next thing to mention, of course, I mentioned earlier, the Art of Kickstarter is still running. We've got 3 more days. Alfonso, who's doing volume 16. Alfonso is one of the founders of Miniature Art, the Miniature Art Academy. Great video platform for learning about miniature painting. Hundreds of videos on there. He and his the team at Miniature Art Academy came through and said, for everybody who pledges $35 or more to the Kickstarter, we get a free month of the Academy plan.
That's super cool.
Alfonso's plan and Warhammer's plan. So that's Borja, who won the Slayer Sword at Adepticon last year.
For a quick second, my brain was like, Chris Bohr has his own, that's amazing.
No, not Chris Bora. Bora.
Right.
Borja. So Borja. So that's about, I think they said it's about 47 euros value.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty rad.
$55. So yeah, definitely super cool. But yeah, that was a great thing. So that's to everybody who pledges that in the campaign.
That's awesome.
But again, link down below. Go and check it out.
Hank just jumped on and says, happy birthday, Dave.
Cool. Hi, Hank. Thank you very much. I noticed that Brendan also said that's not how science works. That's absolutely true. It's not how science. That's how fiction works. Awesome. I mentioned before playing some games of Trench Crusade. So I was playing against my friend Robert here with my Sloth warband. And because my Sloth warband doesn't have any shooting attacks, Robert thought that sort of spot up the top there. Oh, sorry, apart from my Hunter of the Left-Hand Path, thought this spot up here would be a great place for his heavy machine gun.
He's not wrong.
He was absolutely correct. But yeah, I think my Hunter of the Left-Handed Path did manage to take that guy out, though.
Nice.
And here's another shot against him. This big guy here is my Desecrated Saint of Sloth, which means that any injury that's taken, a minor hit injury that's taken by anybody means that they go down if they're within 8 inches of the Saint. So it even overrides the heavy machine infantry.
I was just about to ask. I was like, they have a rule that says you can't do that, though.
Yeah, no, it specifically says even if you've got a rule that says you can't do that,
interesting,
you can do it. So it was good. It was a good, fun game. 700 points. Then I played another 900 ducats game afterwards with another friend, Jeff. So it's just a nice day out, really. Very cool.
Nice.
Excellent. Nice. So
right.
Time for us to start talking about 40K and Armageddon.
So I did a little bit of research, and the whole reason I wore my GW shirt, other than the cool back eagle, like I mean, other than that, like
right. Yep.
So I was trying to figure out which. So there was no starter set for Rogue Trader, and then the first box set was the original Armageddon box for second.
Yep.
So other than I think sixth, which is the same box set as seventh, I have either worked for Games Workshop or owned my own business for every one of them. Like when I got hired at GW, third edition was out. So we had the John Blanche, the Black Templars versus the Drukhari box. Or back then they were still Dark Eldar. And then fourth edition came out, which was the
2004. That was Battle for Macragge.
Yeah, that box is amazing. So Battle for Macragge, came with a dreadnought, had like the crashed, the Aquila land is great. The guy delivering the beer, which is awesome. And it's totally like a mini cooler. It's a 6-pack. And then you've got what? Assault on Black Reach.
Assault on Black Reach for fifth, which was Orcs and Space Marines.
Yep.
Always gets forgotten.
And then I left the company and sixth came out. And to this day, sixth, I think, is the best rule book they've ever designed. It was the first full color rule book. Like every page has color on it. It had the library binding. It's the one that has like the Dark Angel captain with the two-handed sword on the cover. Just a really, really nice rule book. But that was the box set that has the Dark Angels that were all push fit with the Dark Angels Terminators, and then the Chaos Space Marines with the Chosen. Like some really, really nice models in that kit. And then for 7th edition, they just changed the rule book. It's Dark Vengeance. It's the same exact contents. And then we opened the store for 8th edition, which was the one that was Ultramarines versus Death Guard.
Yep.
That was the Plague War, I think, was that one. So then,
and that was that was the appearance of the Primaris.
Yep. Yeah. So the Primaris box, and then you had Indominus after that, which, for my money, I think the Indominus box is probably the best starter box they've done. Like that's everything in that was brand new. Like all the Primaris stuff was brand new sculpts, brand new units that didn't exist. The entire Necron side of the box was literally all brand new. Really nice rule book. 8th edition, when it launched, had a lot of potential. I think everybody liked that they were like, hey, we're going to bring everybody up using indexes. Like every army is going to start at 8th edition kind of even.
Right.
And then 9th was Indominus. 10th was then the Leviathan box, which is really good. Yeah, and I went online and I was doing some comparison for this versus the
Leviathan,
the new one. So this comes with 72 models.
Yep.
The new box comes with 61.
Right.
The Leviathan box comes with a full size limited edition hardcover rulebook that by itself is like $60. The new box comes with a pocket size like soft cover.
Yep.
It does have the operation guide, which again is another soft cover. Whereas the other cool thing about the Leviathan book is the Leviathan hardcover that comes in here is the core rulebook and the campaign book. Like it came in this one,
like the Crusade game.
Yeah, it came with the first Crusade update in this book, which is phenomenal. You had to buy that by itself for $50. Again, data cards great, transfers great. But then this box, Leviathan, was $250.
Right.
Whereas the new box is $295 with, less models and a soft cover rulebook. Yeah. So, I mean, unless I assume that they're shipping this through the Strait of Hormuz. That's why the price is what it is. But it's a little nuts that it was that much of a difference.
Yeah. It looks like it's got more cards. So maybe.
Yeah, it's great. Like
now.
Yeah, it's 23 Space Marines versus. Sorry, I have the Leviathan book. So it's 23 Space Marines versus 25 in Leviathan. And then Leviathan came with 47 Tyranids. This comes with 38 Orcs.
Yeah, mind you, of those Tyranids, a lot of them were termagants and the little crazy. These crazy dudes.
It does come with 2 of the giant bugs, though.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I think the biggest kind of thing that I've heard is I mean, as a store owner myself, like we looked at our numbers. So we looked at Indomitus versus Leviathan versus Armageddon, and it's definitely trending in the wrong direction. Like, so for Indomitus, we sold, so that box was capped at 102 per store.
Right.
And then I was able to get more from other stores that I'm friends with, and was like, hey, just, you know, order more. I'll buy whatever you guys don't sell. I think we sold 135 copies or something like that. For Leviathan, I think we went with, I want to say we went with like 100. And I think we sold, like at launch, we didn't sell all of them. I think we sold like 75 or 80 at launch. And then over the next like couple of months and weeks, we sold the rest. But for Armageddon, like we're looking at a significantly like lower number than it. Still a good number, still a respectable number, but like just way less. And the more people I've talked to, I think it's because for the first time in a long time, the Space Marine half of the box is kind of underwhelming.
Right.
It's all units that basically already exist. So like the Blade Guard Captain looks cool.
Yep.
There's already a Blade Guard Captain. It's just a new sculpt. The Ancient already exists. It's just a new sculpt. The 10 Intercessors, they're already a thing. They were like, we added new poses, and now there's like different helmets. And I was like, any Space Marine player worth their salt has a box of helmets. So I've already done this for all of my squads where I've just like swapped them out. The new speeder is cool. It doesn't like blow my socks off. Like I'm not like, oh wow, a speeder, but like it's cool. The Vanguard vets are cool. I think that's a unit we all knew was coming. I mean, I've been talking about that for a while, saying that was going to be one of the units that had to be upgraded. The new Librarian is nice. I don't really run a lot of Librarians, so I was like, I'm not really super stoked about that. The Jump Chaplain is probably the best model in the box for the Space Marine half, I think. It's one of the few HQ choices that like didn't exist. Like you can run them in the rules, but there isn't a model for it. That one's cool. The weird, like the 3 aggressors with heavy bolters, I was like, I mean, thanks, I guess, for making those. Like I understand that
I've got to say, from like as far as the models go, I love them.
Oh yeah. Like there's no bad models. I'm saying like as someone who's like,
I mean, for those aggressors with the heavy bolters, that's I love that they did those. That's my pick of the box for the Space.
The aggressors? Nah, okay.
Yeah. I know it's kind of weird, but it's my pick.
My pick. The stuff that I'm excited for is basically the Jump Chaplain and the Vanguard vets. Like that's the stuff that I was like, oh, I needed those anyways, so like I'm excited about that. And I'm not gonna lie, I love the Blade Guard Captain. I dig. I like that he's a little more dynamic than the one that they have out of the Indominus box, where he's like resting his hand on his shield and he has his sword, like he's just like, come get some. Like it's a cool model. This one's much more dynamic. This one looks like he's in the middle of it. But yeah, like just overall, I think it just falls a little flat. It's not like every single one of those units is essentially stuff that you could either already make or kit bash.
Yeah.
Because like they have the new speeders out. There's just not the regular speeder. They have all the other variants that are out. You can basically make one. The Orc half is amazing. Like new boys, like that's great. I think it's about time they got new boys. The Gretchen, I think, are awesome. I'm a sucker for a war track. I think it's hilarious. I love that they brought that thing back.
I didn't do. So yeah, keep talking. See if we can find this picture.
The war boss is dope. I like that you can customize them a little bit. You can kind of like do different arm and head swaps, which is great. And then that DACA mech or whatever it's called, the big platform thing that the mech's on. That thing is just cool.
Let's just call it DACA rig for the rest.
That's it. Sure,
we'll call it that. Might not necessarily be that, but let's call it that.
But no, that thing's neat. Yeah, Dan likes my GW manager shirt. I dusted this off.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just weird. Like that kind of hit me. I was like, I've either worked for Games Workshop or had my own business for the launch of every box set except for 2 and 6.
Right.
I was like, that's wild.
That's great. Sorry, I'm just going to add something. When we're talking about, you mentioned the Orc war track. I'm going to try and rustle this into one of the presentations somewhere. But my friend Mark Rayleigh's been sculpting up some fun stuff. So
Nice.
Cool. But anyway, so
yeah, all the new orc stuff's great. The war boss is super cool. The pain boy is really cool. The weird boy's awesome. The bandit knob is awesome. I like there's the new category. So there's the war boss, and then there's the big boss, who I guess is like an orc lieutenant. Like that's kind of cool.
Is that like this guy here?
No, it's the guy in the middle with the axe.
Oh, up here.
Yeah, him. That's the big boss.
Right.
And then the war boss is the guy with the back banner, who's like going toe to toe with the captain.
Right.
Yeah, there's a ton of like the orc half of the box is just loaded with flavor. Like there's a lot of really cool character stuff in there.
Yeah. Excellent. Brent has joined us. Hi, Brent. He says, "Talk about the Stumpy robot." Unfortunately,
yeah, that's the best thing. I think it's not even in this photo. That's him off to the right, I guess. That little edge that's sticking out.
Yeah. Or is that the track? That's probably the track. But yeah. So I didn't get I'm dumb. I didn't get an actual photo of it. Should have.
Oh, it's all good.
But we don't right?
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like, yeah, James is talking about this a lot. So the big rumor is that when the 11th edition drops in the new codex, there will be no more firstborn units. So there won't be a tactical squad. There won't be a devastator squad. I think those are the only two that are left. Yeah, I think those are the only two that are left. So obviously the aggressors are basically phasing out devastators. I still think devastators are a better option. The fact that you can have, like, you can do a squad of 6 and put them in a, like, the go-to is you do a squad of 6, you do 4 heavy weapons, you do a body that's just basically wounds, and then you do the sergeant either with like a special weapon or a plasma pistol or something so he can protect them if he has to, and then you put them in a razorback, and that's basically another heavy weapon. Like, that's just like one of the best point-for-point units you can run in the game. And the fact that they're like, oh, well, we'll replace it with 3 aggressors, and I was like, I mean, I guess like they get extra wounds and stuff, which is cool, but I still think that they're not as flexible. And then like the humble tactical squad is still like one of the best units out there. I was really hoping that what they were going to do is they were going to do a Primaris version of attack squad, which is just like, it's a 10-man intercessor squad. You can take 1 special weapon and 1 heavy weapon. I was like, that would be rad. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
But they have them broken up so much now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean says he likes the Pain Boy. The Pain Boy's great. It's such a cool model.
It is. It's awesome there. Actually, let's sorry, I'm just going to take this image and make it so we can zoom in a little bit.
David's saying he put his original chapter at 90% unusable for standard games. That's not really the thing. So like, you can still use all your models. You would just say that they're, intercessor squads or, whatever. Like, I think you'd be fine. It's just the one of the things that I think they're going to do is they're basically phasing out firstborn units, and then for 12th edition or something, they're just going to introduce them as new sets. Like, because that's basically what they've done. Like, look at the Terminators that came out in Leviathan. It's not like Terminators don't exist. It's now they're just the right scale and everybody wants them. The Sternguard veterans, that was a firstborn unit. Now it's a Primaris unit. You've got the Vanguard veterans in this. That was a firstborn unit. Now it's a Primaris unit. So I think they're just like, same thing with the Speeder. It's way bigger and it's a much nicer model than the tiny little, speed stick that is basically the old one. So there's a rumor that we're going to get a new Rhino this edition at some point, like a new sculpt, like an upscaled Rhino. And then if they do that, of course, I would assume they're going to do a Land Raider. Although I don't know why you'd bother. Jess Goodwin's Land Raider is like one of the best.
I mess with it. Yeah,
that model is almost perfect. It is spectacular.
Absolutely.
The Godhammer pattern that Jess did that's my favorite Land Raider. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, at some point you're going to get that stuff. Like, they're going to phase out the Razorback, which is, again, too bad. That model's great. The rumors are going to phase out like the Predator, and you're going to have to just stick with like the Gladius and like all the new Primaris versions of stuff. Again, we'll see, but I would not be surprised. And then what they'll do is GW will just like revamp them and they'll just sell them to you again. Like, they have to keep making new Space Marine stuff because they're the most popular army that they have, which I get.
Yeah.
But they also don't want too much, like Phil was saying, they don't want too much range bloat.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to phase stuff out and then later on they'll like phase it back in.
Yeah. Sean says the old 3rd edition speeder looks like a bumper car. It
Yeah,
does. It does. Yeah, and it was terrible to put together, but it's still a place in my heart. From that's 29 years ago.
20, oh God, is it
28 years ago? Yeah, that 3rd edition speeder, 1998.
Yeah, that thing's around forever.
Yep, there you go. We probably have people watching us who are younger than that land speeder.
Oh, dude, there are people that weren't alive when 3rd edition and 4th edition and even 5th edition were out. I'm sure, like that are either going to watch this or watch us.
Well, I'm just assuming that most folks are closer to our age than not. But anyway, I mentioned Mark Rayleigh, Mork's Miniatures. He's been doing a bunch of old school orcs.
That thing is great.
It is awesome, isn't it?
I kind of want that to be life size and be my actual grill.
Actual Weber grill. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
That'd be amazing.
But yeah, so he's a big fan of tuk-tuks. When we originally did Gaslands back in the day, the first vehicle he put together was a tuk-tuk with a machine gun on the back.
I will say, for an orc vehicle, this looks very put together. Like, this does not look ramshackle.
Right. Okay. You could make it a little bit more ramshackle, I think. But
like,
yeah.
if you take off the blower, which is hilarious, if you take off the blower, this is an Imperial Guard vehicle.
It is pretty
like, give one of those to Patrick Keith, have him painted up in his desert camo to match his Elysians, and like,
that would be cool. That would be good. But Mark said he is going to work on a different turret as well. Maybe one that's a little more like a KV2 or KV1, the big block turret.
Yeah, I think it's great.
So thanks. But yeah, I do love that. Propane tanks on the back, and little grot poking his head out, and tongs. Awesome. The all important tongs and fork.
Dude, the blower is hilarious. Like, I imagine the slots just like snapping up.
Right. Yep. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, Dave Hall says meat flavored flamethrower. Absolutely.
I mean, the whole battlefield just smells like a smoker.
It does. It does. Josh said they did re-release the speeder. It became easier to put together, but the original cut was clamps and rubber bands a go-go.
Yeah, oh God, I hate the old one. I have like I probably have like 4 of them. I have 3 that I built for a Blood Angels army, and I have like 2 others that are in like random pieces. I don't like that kit. The new one's actually nice. It's like that's there on the left. It's about, I would say it's 60% bigger than the original.
Yeah.
Like, it looks realistic. The old one looks like, it looks like somebody took a golf cart and put an anti-grav engine on it. Like, this one looks like a Jeep. Like, it's much bigger.
It's also a little bit smaller than the current ones, like the Storm speeders or whatever.
Yeah, because it's not a heavy one. It's a standard speeder, but like it's about the same footprint as you have a bunch of them, I'm sure. What's the Gene Zero Cults go-kart thing?
Oh, the Achilles Ridge Runner.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit bigger on the back end. It's a little chunkier, but it's about the same size.
Sure,
as the Aculus. It's a little bit bigger because instead of having the one like cockpit, it's a 2-seater, but it's similar dimensions to that. Yeah.
No, that's cool. But how long until it breaks off that base stand? Yeah, it is. It's kind of a weird one there where we're taking things even further as far as the flying stands are concerned.
Yeah.
I think this one has got pretty high potential for coming off that or breaking off that base.
I blame Jeff Smith, Saint Jeff, the patron saint of Tactical Rocks. Like, half of these guys are on Tactical Rocks. Like, all the jump marines, they're all positioned so that their left toe or their right toe is like on a rock.
Yeah.
So they're like dancing off of it, like on one foot. And then the speeder's the same way. What I would recommend to anybody who's building this is I would build the speeder and I would drill a hole with a pin vise in both the speeder and the rock and use a piece of like paper clip, and I would super glue it into the speeder. So that way I can just take it apart when you're transporting it, so it doesn't. Because yeah, you're 100% right. That thing is just going to snap off for sure.
Yep. Indeed.
Um,
Hero rocks for everybody.
Yeah, the art's really cool. Is that Paul Dayton?
I don't know.
It looks like his art.
I think you're right. I think it's definitely his style.
I think he did cover.
Everybody's been melded into very similar styles, but it does look great though. Very cool.
Did you see Malev's comment about the Blood Angel, the bolter? He goes, it's in quotes. It says, "Hey, could you make the bolter like longer and skinnier and stupider looking?"
Yes, I did see that. It was pretty amazing.
And then someone's comment was, "It's the crepe pattern bolt gun." Like I was like, "Yeah, it's nice, clever." It does look like somebody took a bolt gun and ran it through a panini. Like,
right. Yeah,
it is really, really flat.
It's flat, but we don't need to worry about that. That's one image that they chose to stick on the front of the rules.
That's true.
But yeah. Sean Gleason says some magnets might work for the land speeder. Possibly.
Yeah, you can totally do that. Again, I don't dislike the box. I think the box has some good stuff in it. I was just kind of disappointed that the Space Marine half is just kind of flat. Like, again, it's like, and my hobby is painting miniatures, but my hobby is really Space Marines. Like, so like I would say 85% of what I paint is Space Marines. And I was like, like, I mean, the fact that I was like, whatever, like there's really not, I wasn't like, I have to get this box.
Sure.
But
yeah, I get it. I will admit as well that when I was watching the sort of the run through of what was in there, I was like, there's nothing grabbing me. But let's have a quick chat about some of the rules, shall we?
Nice.
I'm not sure if you've seen this one.
I have not. It's pretty good. So start of turn step, command phase, movement phase, shooting phase, charge phase, kissing phase, fight phase, end of turn step.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
So Aaron Provost, War Games a Heck, shared this one.
We might have to get this. We might have to get this as a t-shirt.
Yeah, I think so.
That's hilarious. You and your opponent must make a kissing action.
Get it laminated and just hand it to everybody who's going to be.
Oh, dude, that's so good.
See if they notice. But no, it does look very cool.
The biggest thing I'm hoping for, and a lot of this, like, we don't know yet because they haven't really gotten too in depth. They've done the whole like army focuses, they've done like the orc focus, and they've done the Blood Angels focus and things like that. But it's more like the units that are in the box and like how they work. It's not really like the rules per se. So the biggest thing I'm hoping that they cleaned up a lot of the like bubble effects that are in 10th, because it's a bit of a mess. And then
when you say bubble effect, what do you mean?
Well, so they tried to change it. I want to say, was it 8th? So 7th and 8th had the whole thing where it's like, okay, so I have my army, and you're like, okay, cool, it does this, and you're like, and then I have this detachment, and you're like, it allows my army to do this, and you're like, okay, cool, and then it's like, and then I have this character, and if I put him with a unit, he affects that unit, and you're like, that makes sense. And then they changed it, I think in 9th, they changed it so that you didn't have to be part of a unit for it to get your effect. You just had to basically, you had a bubble. It was like, if you're within 6 or within 12 or whatever, you know, like for chaplains, for example. So I know, like, if I'm running the Death Company, so Death Company don't have objective control, which means they can't take objectives unless they're within 6 inches of a character or 12 inches of a chaplain.
Right.
So, like, again, he has a bubble. So you could have one chaplain affecting, you know, multiple units of Death Company. Yeah, so someone said, like, you know, St. Celestine, Ragnar Blackman. Yeah, there you go. Make them kiss. But yeah, so I'm hoping they clean that up. The other thing that I think is a mess right now with 10th is how just sloggy the games feel. We have a bunch of guys who play in the store, and I was watching them the other day. And for all of us who have played multiple editions, back in the day, it was like, hey, I'm going to play Dave's army. Hey, Dave, just so you know, this is what I have. I have this unit of Space Marines, and I have this unit of Space Marines, and I have this unit of Terminators, and I have this unit of Space Marines, and I have my captain. And you're like, okay, so what does what? So the Terminators have an invul save because they're Terminators and they're awesome. And then my captain has an Iron Halo, so he has an invul save. The rest of my army has armor saves. And you're like, okay, cool. Now there's cover saves that could give you an invul save theoretically, but in the current edition, That's not a thing. Cover saves just improve your armor save.
Yep.
So that's fine, but there's way too many invulnerable saves. I was watching, it was like Emperor's Children against Votan, and the Votan player, like, almost his entire army has invul saves, and I was like, how is that possible? And he's like, so Steeljacks have one, and then his like dudes in the exosuits have one, and then all of his characters have one, and then he has one, like, if his character is within X amount of inches of a unit, like, they get an invul save. And I was like, all that needs to go away. Like, there's way too many invul saves. It's part of the reason why the game takes so long. And then there's a lot of like is it lethal hits, or I think it's lethal hits, where like wounds just carry over. It's like, it's mortal wounds. That also just needs to all go away. I was like, if you just got rid of those two rules, the game would just be better. It would just be quicker. You could play games. You'd be able to like do what you're trying to do and like kill that unit or not kill that unit. There's also, I would get rid of rerolls. There's like rerolls on rerolls on rerolls, like all that. Yeah, perfect example. Like Josh just said the same thing. Like that just needs to go away. That's probably the biggest thing that took me getting used to in Heresy. Was in second edition there was a little bit. In third edition there are no rerolls.
Right.
There is nothing in the game that lets you. I think there's like two things specifically. There's like two models that let you reroll a die, and that's it.
Right.
But there's no rerolls. That's not a thing. You roll the dice, that's what you get. Back in the day, I think Eldar, that was kind of their cool thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to cast Guide with my, Warlock on this unit of Exarchs or Dire Avengers. And you're like, what does that do? It's like, I can reroll misses because I'm being guided by them looking into the future. You're like, that seems really cool. But now it's like every army is just like lousy with rerolls.
Yeah.
Those, like I said, I don't know any of the guts of 11th because they haven't really shown any of that. But those are my hopes. I'm hoping that they clean that up. I think that's the big thing that kind of like makes 10th kind of it's just weird. It just, the games take way too long, and there's way too much, seesawing that seems to happen. It's like you could have a really, really bad turn of like rolling, and you're like, oh, my army is all messed up. Or you could have like, your opponent could have like a great round of rolling, and you could have a great round of rolling, and you're like, nothing happens. Like, it's just a lot of it's really swingy to me from what I've seen. So
okay, right. Yeah, one of the things that I have seen, which is a kind of a follow on from you talk about the auras, I'm not sure when they switched it. I think it was like 9th and 10th or into 10th, where characters had to be leading a unit.
Yep. To
give their effect, give their ability, which also then led to a situation where once the unit was dead and they were no longer leading the unit, they didn't have that ability anymore.
Right.
It's like, I can only remember to do this thing when I've got people that I'm telling to do it. But as soon as I can't tell anybody to do it, I can't do everything. They've cleaned it up so that it's once they've started leading a unit, they are always counted as being a leader of the unit, kind of thing.
Okay, sure.
So there are some, I think there are probably some really obscure circumstances where you might have a character that isn't leading a unit, and he has an ability that only sort of, what do you call it?
Is it, did they change it so it's like a keyword, or is it like?
I couldn't answer that one.
Okay.
Not sure. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. One of the things that that I found was kind of, or that I've been kind of intrigued by, and I don't have any photos to go with it, but is the new way that they're talking about putting an army together.
Okay.
So rather than it just being a detachment, and it's you pick your one detachment, and that one, everything is bought from that detachment, and you just have one detachment rule. You can now have multiple detachments, and there are some detachments that are stronger than others.
Yeah.
You have fewer stronger detachments and more of the things. They've got like a detachment point spend. So
yeah, Hank says dispositions. You have army dispositions.
That's right. Yeah. Cool.
I think that some of that is what they learned in third edition for Heresy. like I said, I've explained this before to people. Like, I think Heresy, we had that whole episode where we talked about it. I think
Yep.
the weirdest thing about Heresy is when you first see how you make your army.
Oh, it's
you're
terrible.
you're like, I don't understand any of this. And then once you kind of like see the sailboat, you're like, oh, like it snaps into focus, and you're like, I got it.
It's a schooner.
Yeah, it's a schooner. A schooner is a sailboat. So like, yeah, like I think that once you kind of turn that corner and you understand how that works, making armies is super fun. Like I love it now in Heresy. Like I'm like, oh, if I take this, you can unlock this. But I was explaining to somebody, it's also part of the reason why there's no meta in Heresy. It's because if you make armies that are really, really brutal and you go out of your way to take all specialized units, I will obliterate your army every time because you're not balanced and you can't win the game. Like you don't have a way to take objectives. So they kind of reward you for taking like the units you need to have. It's like, this is an army of Space Marines. What should the majority of this army be made out of? Space Marines. You're like, that makes sense. So I like that. I think that they're kind of doing the same thing with the dispositions. I think they want you to take, okay, like here's this really cool thing that I want my army to be able to do. And then this is what the rest of my army does. And
Right.
you still need all those pieces for it to make sense. You know what I mean? It's like you're building the building. It's like you gotta have a good foundation, and then you gotta have your first floor, and they gotta put in like the the kitchen and the bathroom. Like there's all the stuff you have to have. So I think that'll help, hopefully. I'm so tired of seeing people roll into the store where they're like, so I took 3 defilers and I have 3 of this other thing and I have 3 of this other thing. And I'm like, where's all your troops? I'm like, oh, I took 2 battle line units because I have to. And I'm like, I mean,
Yeah.
like cool. Like your army just seems terrible. Like I don't want to, like that seems just not fun. So hopefully that will help things. I think army building is still kind of like, it's an art, right? I mean, it's part of the fun part of the game. And I think for the last 2 editions, that kind of went away. It was kind of like, well, I looked online and these are the best, points per, this is the most like min-max unit I can run. So I'm going to run 3 of that.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to stop. I don't
No. I understand that, but I'm saying hopefully with the dispositions, you'll see some more variety.
Sure.
Like I was explaining to a guy, I think right now, if you and I went to Atlantic City Open and we looked at all the Necron players, I'm willing to bet that 70% of them are going to be running the exact same Necron list because that's just the way that it works. With the dispositions, it seems like you'll have a little, like you're like, we're all going to take this one detachment because it's awesome. And then I might take this disposition and you might take that one just because like we like that style of play better. So hopefully you'll see some more variety. I think that's important to the game. You don't want to be playing a bunch of mirror matches.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think variety and diversity is absolutely key. Sprinkling the flavor.
It's the spice of life.
I don't want to sprinkle in the flavor. I want it to be built in. But
fortified. You want it to be fortified with flavor.
Fortified with flavor, exactly. Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see. I don't know that I have as much faith in it creating more variety. I think Dave,
Dave, I don't disagree with you. Like I think that all the neckbeards are going to neckbeard, right? I mean, I would love to talk to Hank and be like, hey, like let's run a fun 40K tournament where you have to build an army old school style and you have to use these rules. I think that'd be hilarious. It's kind of like what they do in the friendly, all the stuff that Josh does, Jeff Wallach does, all the stuff that Shell and Carl do. Like I think that the reason why those ones are so appealing and everybody loves them is because it's that the flex. Like I think that's like the fun part that we're talking about. And again, all the tryhards that want to do like the super, I'm going to tape up my knuckles and like cheat and do all kinds of like wacky stuff. Like, cool, you can go play at those tables over there. I don't want to play against you. That doesn't seem fun.
Yep. Josh says Force Org chart is my old friend.
Hell yeah.
I was a big fan of the Force Org chart, but that's me.
I remember once we figured out that you could fill a Force Org and start a second Force Org, we were all like blown away. We were like, wait, you can do that? Like that was such a cool thing to like discover when we were playing. I want to say it was like 4th or 5th edition where it was like, oh, you could do a second Force Org. Or like I didn't know you could do that. So like that was always kind of fun.
It was like, it must have been 4th edition when I had my Cadians. And it was like, oh, each each slot is for each troop slot in a force org chart was a platoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had a command squad and 2 to 5 squads. That was your one troop choice. So to fill a slot, you could potentially have like 330 Cadians.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, the biggest you could get with Space Marines is if you did, whether you did Scouts or Space Marines, didn't matter. Like you could do 10, a squad of 10.
Yeah.
So it was like, cool, I could do 60 Marines.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's all my tactical choices. And then like theoretically, the idea was you could run a company.
Yeah.
So it was like, 6 tac squads, 2 2 assault squads, 2 devastator squads, a command squad, and then maybe some scouts. But scouts are weird because they were troops, so you'd have to like figure out a way to like fudge that. But
yeah. And Dave Hummel says your army should tell a story. It's a military unit. No one ever survives a battle with just the heavy weapons.
Correct. I'm with you.
Yeah, for sure. The next thing I was going to pull out, and this is an opportunity. Basically, I can preface this by saying, this is basically a request to everybody who's watching, everybody who watches this video, who sees this part of the video.
Sure.
Is please just remember, it's your game. When you're playing, you get to decide what happens.
Yeah.
Happens, right? You get to choose that. Sometimes there are circumstances where you feel you don't have that agency, and you need to decide whether you're going to put yourself in those circumstances. But please remember, it's your game. Where do you think I'm going with that?
I have no idea.
Terrain. So terrain. The particularly with the pre-painted terrain that we've seen recently.
Yeah.
GW announce. And the
is
idea
that the stuff that Ash showed off, that what is it, the terrain kit or the terrain set? I forget what it's called.
There's the terrain area set.
Yeah, so there's that, but then he had something else in one of his videos. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I remember building these things when we had all the original buildings, like all the administratum buildings and all that stuff. You could build like the plates.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. Hank says UV printed, so all of the UV printed terrain, not
Nice.
pre-painted, technically not, but pre-colored, I guess.
Yeah.
And Josh says, the hot button topic of the week.
Yeah.
For sure. I'd say it's a little bit longer than a week. It's been going on for a little while. But,
yeah, David Hummel, Cities of Death. It was that whole Cities of Death launch. Like,
yeah, for sure.
The Cities of Death Codex.
Yeah,
that is still to this day. I think that's one of the best books they've ever done. That book was so cool. It had like the guardsmen running across the building. That was Kapinski, I think.
Yeah, it was a Kapinski piece. It was a Cadian in a urban camo.
Yeah, that book is chef's kiss. That is a phenomenal book.
It is a great one for sure. I would agree. But yeah, in the new rules, you can see a whole bunch of this sort of stuff. And they're trying to make things easier. Even though a very small number of games that are played are being played by tournament gamers, either at a tournament or in preparation for a tournament, pickup games in stores have meant that somebody's probably, or might be somebody in that store is going to be practicing for a tournament or practicing their army. And so they're going to want to play on one of these setups.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
It also looks like it's back to 4x6.
Is that the?
Because like up the top, that right hand measurement, 30 inches, that's the halfway point.
30 inches and then 15 and 15. So it's 60. 60 by 44.
It's 60 by 48. Because like look at on the left hand side, that square says that it's a. I'll go up or go to the left. Go to the left. Right there. Go down. It says 24.25. I think that's the halfway point. So that's 48.
That's 24.25 up from here to here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's still, yeah, it's like if each one of these is an inch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's still 22. So there's 60 by 44. I keep skipping over that image. I put this image in because somebody
great
pointed out
image.
the other day.
Like I remember building all of those buildings.
Yeah, it is a great image. But the key thing is all of the shots that we get of combat, of battles in the 41st millennium.
Yeah,
everything that says that, hey, this is what it looked like. It looks like this. It doesn't look like this.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the other thing too, like go back to that other photo.
This one or this one?
The Tau fighting the Cadians.
Yep, there we go.
It's super drab.
It is.
Like they picked two armies that look really drab, and it's unfortunate because like the Tau, that's their brighter paint scheme. The white is really, it pops.
Yeah.
But because of the way they put them on the light side of the board, and then you have all those like ochre kind of like fog stuff up on the top right. Yeah. Like they kind of get lost. Like the whole army, if you squint or back away from the picture,
yeah,
it's really drab. Like this would be really cool if it was like salamanders fighting Tyranids. You'd be like, whoa, like they would look super bright and like really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, again, everything in this is beautiful. Like they've got like Ogrins down there, and there's like the Lehman Russes look good, and they've got the command squad that everybody has seen for a million years. You know, again, you've got like there's a white ghost keel on the back right. It's just kind of drab. It's not the most exciting tabletop I've seen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Excellent.
Hank, now you have terrain footprints as objectives versus mouse pads. The big thing that everybody's been doing in my store for 10th is they have a bunch of like Lexan like squares and rectangles, and then they put them on the table, and then they take like L's and stuff of terrain and like put it on the corners of them to show the footprint of the terrain. And now they're just actually making the footprints, which is cool. If I see anybody playing on a 2-dimensional table, I'm gonna lose it. Like, get out of here. The whole reason it looks like a tabletop war game is it's supposed to look like a tabletop replica of a war game, not random pieces, not random rectangles. Like we're not fighting over the rectangles. Like this isn't a geometry battle. Like I'm not trying to capture shapes.
Yep, for sure. Josh says the only issues is that the game is designed and balanced around those terrain setups now. Even the chapter approved missions will want those layouts with each army disposition trying to do something. Well, here's the great thing is we all know it will never be balanced. So B, let's lean into that. Let's just set up a fun game with some cool looking cool looking terrain elements. That would be awesome. Yeah. Again, do you definitely do you, but don't think you can't use stuff like this and play games on terrain like this, because you can. At even terrain like this.
See that, like that's a fun table. I would want to play on that.
That's an awesome table. That'd be so sweet to play on.
Even like the one we were talking about with like the Cadians fighting the Tau. Like I would play on that table. That seems awesome.
Yeah. On which one? This one? Or the city table?
The big city one. Like that. Yeah. Like that just looks awesome. I think Pete Underwood and I played on a table at Glen Burnie that was like that. That was just like, to be fair, in hindsight, we should not have played on that table. Like there was way too much terrain. Like for, I would say at least half of our turns, we basically had to like move around stuff and couldn't do anything. But it looks really cool. Like it's fun. That's what you want to be doing. It shouldn't be like an open table with 3 identical pieces of terrain on each quadrant, and then we're just gonna like, you know what I mean? It's like it shouldn't look like a chessboard.
Yeah, exactly. Hank says, had they released the terrain maps without the terrain silhouettes, we might have seen some variety and flexibility. This is true. But now we'll get people just that specific approach. But yeah, I'm going to say 100%. I am super fortunate, very privileged to play with a number of groups where the important thing is the spending time with friends across the table, and it's not about the how how prescribed we're following our game. If we want to do that, we'll play Twilight Imperium. I don't know,
or something.
But yeah, just remember you can do this. There'll be plenty of people tell you can't, but they're wrong.
Yep.
You can do it. There we go. What do we got? Again, Dave Humble says, again, build a table, tell a story. Patrick says, oh, hey, Patrick, says, that's the setup I want, talking about this one that's on the screen now. Jim says, Nintendo would talk about how people do enjoy playing asymmetrical games. Absolutely. Terrain is the third army. Cinematic moments are king, for sure.
That's part of the thing. In all the narrative stuff that we do, like even all the heresy stuff that Chris and I did, the stuff I did last year at like Everwinter, the tables are bananas. Like the whole idea is we're all playing on these crazy fucking tables, whether it's a shipboarding action or they built the whole section we were defending, like, one of the walls on Terra. So the boards are completely asymmetrical. It was really, really kind of a mess. And like a lot of guys were like, I don't understand how my army works in this. And to make it easy, we were like, oh, so if I'm on the wall and the wall was like, 18 inches tall and your guys are on the floor, in order to transition, it was 3 inches of movement. So like you could still play on the table. It still looked really cool, but it was just really dynamic and insane. We're like, oh man, like this is going to be crazy to play on. I agree. Who is it? Was it Josh who said terrain is the third army? Like it really is. Like having that on there, it makes a huge difference. So
yeah, without a doubt. Sean says, I wish they would have just said fill the table with terrain and just mark 4 to 5 as objectives. And that's what we all should do. If we've got that, if we feel like we have that agency, please go out and do that. And Josh says hills, forests, and rivers never go out of style.
That's true.
Absolutely. And Dave Bobble says, build a table, make it look cool, adjust fire as needed to make the players have fun. Oh, Josh says, I'd be curious to see what GW Open events do for their narrative stuff now, because it very much used to look like this. I'm curious to see if it pivots to match the match play. It will be interesting to check that out.
I think they'll probably match like the match play style, like with the new rules for terrain being kind of so delineated in the rule book, or at least what they've teased so far. 40K doesn't really, at least in current edition, in 10th edition, 40K doesn't really benefit from the narrative play. Like it doesn't, like the players don't, if you're playing the normal part of like the tournament scene, it doesn't do anything for you. I don't think it brings anything. I think that's a different group that wants that play. So it would be weird to kind of hybridize it and kind of.
I suspect they might just be an additional layer they put on it.
Maybe.
The organizer, that's what I'd be doing for sure.
Josh, sad trombone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong. So we'll see. Again, I'm hopeful for this edition. I hope that they kind of address a lot of these changes. But we'll see.
I guess we'll have to keep an eye on the Tacoma Open.
I will always have heresy to play, so I'm not
for sure. But no, that's cool. All good. But yeah, that was my big thing that I wanted to get off my chest. Right. Next up, though, you got a little sneak peek. So, Jake, was there anything specific you wanted to cover? Anything you wanted to talk about?
About 11th specifically? I mean, a lot of it was just the box contents for me. Like that's the stuff that I'm probably the most. I'll reserve my judgment of 11th until I actually read through the rulebook and kind of like play a game or two. But for me, like a lot of the launch stuff is based on the buzz that's around the box, and like I said, it just feels like they kind of the biggest feedback that I've heard, and Phil said the same thing, like talking to people at tournaments and stuff, is the fact that a lot of people are kind of surprised by how vanilla the Space Marine half is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think that's part of it. But
okay. Cool.
Why, Dave? What did you want to talk about?
what did I want to talk about? I was going to talk about my next army.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Next 40k army. So what we'll do, I'm going to present the case for two different armies, right? Because it's me, and I've painted hundreds of Imperial Guardsmen, maybe more than 1,000. I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm sure you've painted more than 1,000 Guardsmen.
I have, yeah, easily. It's a lot, but I haven't painted an Imperial Guard army for a long time, so now I think might be the time to get back and dabble in that.
Third edition, third or fifth, I had a guard army, I think.
Okay, yeah,
I can't remember if it was third or fifth, but it was not a lot of troops.
Right. Mine have always.
What was the edition? What was the edition that had the Armageddon Steel Legion book?
Oh, that was third.
Okay,
yeah.
then it was third.
That was from the Battle for Armageddon global campaign in 2000.
Yeah. So I had that because my troops choices were Armored Fist Squad, so it was 10 Armageddon Steel Legion in a Chimera. Like I didn't have to paint, like you were saying, I don't have to paint like a platoon of dudes. It was like unarmored fist squad. So I think I had 2 or 3 of those, and then the rest of my army was like walkers and tanks. So
yep,
did not have a lot of guardsmen in my guardsman army.
So you've just been called out. But first, I'm going to say, so Josh says, do you think they'll release two box forces in their the 2 box forces in their own start playing boxes with rule books, sort of like how War Machine and Conquest do? So do you think they'd take Space Marines and put them in with the rule book, and the Orcs and put them in with the rule book? Have them 2 separate.
Okay, so if they follow their pattern, which they've done for the last couple editions, so like right now, like we were talking in the factory team chat about how Heresy and you were like, oh, there was a pocket rulebook in 5th edition. And I was like, yeah, but since basically 8th edition, since 8th edition, they've done a launch box, which is like their sneak peek stuff that has extra stuff in it, and it's just a better deal. And then they do their starter set. So even right now for Leviathan was limited launch. Once they were sold out, that was it. And then there's the Ultimate Starter Edition, which comes with terrain and the regular rulebook and about 70% of what's in the box. And like, so that's their starter set. So if they kind of follow that same kind of, I guess, like rollout, we'll have Armageddon, and then there'll be a regular starter set, which will be, like I said, about 70% of what's in the box. It'll just be less stuff. My guess is it'll probably lose the speeder. It'll probably lose the big walker. It'll probably lose at least one of the Space Marine units, or like maybe take, get rid of the aggressors or something. And then you'll lose like 1 or 2 units out of the orcs. Like, so it'll just be less stuff. Then they'll do like a beginner starter set, which will basically be like the 10 intercessors and then like the 10 boys and the war track or something. It'll be like really, really simple. The only time we'll see the other army starter box is when they do like the random ones during the edition, like when they did a Forge Bane back during like 8th edition or 9th edition, which was like a bunch of Necrons and then like some Mechanica stuff and like its own like adventure, like not adventure, campaign book. And then the same thing when they did like the Vanguard box. So it was like a bunch of Chaos Space Marines, including the Master of Possessions, which is still the only way you can get that model. And then like a bunch of Vanguard dudes, and then their campaign book. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple of those, but I don't think they're going to roll that out as like a thing for every army. I think you're still going to see Combat Patrol is still the thing. They're not going to change that. Combat Patrol is still kind of the way to get into the game, or Spearhead if you're playing Age of Sigmar. But since we're talking about 40k, I think that's the smartest thing that they've done to 40k in the last, I would say, probably 15 years. For you and I and anybody like Jim in the chat, anybody who worked at Games Workshop back in the day, how many times did we get how do I get started in this? What do I get? And you go, oh, you get an HQ and True Troops, which makes sense to us. But if I don't know anything about the game, I'm looking at a wall of models like, how do I know what I can get? And you're like, oh, well, you get your Codex first and then pick an HQ choice, like a captain or a librarian or whatever. And then you pick your 2 troops choices. So like for you, you'd pick a unit of guardsmen, and they're like, just kidding, you need a whole platoon of guard. So it was really confusing to start.
Yeah, I would never start somebody on Imperial Guard.
No, yeah, I wouldn't either. But like if somebody really wants to play guard, you're like, okay. Whereas now you're just like, pick a combat patrol. Like pick whatever combat patrol you want. They're all designed to work together. Like you can play, Dave can buy a Custodes one, and I can buy a Sisters one. They're balanced. Like you can play any combat patrol against any combat patrol. I think that's really smart. So I don't think you're going to get a whole bunch of new starter boxes. I think they're just going to kind of stick with what they're doing.
Yeah, I'd agree. Jim says starting to sense a theme with Oz's armies.
Yeah.
My favorite part though was when you were like, "Oh yeah, I used to have this orc army, which was the smallest number of models possible," and then you're like, "Oh yeah, well I did this because it was the smallest number of models possible." But then when somebody comes into my store with the smallest number of models possible, I'm like, "That's not fun."
No, it's not smallest unit. It's smallest number. It's smallest different units possible. Like where you're like, you're like, I have 9 units. It's really 3 units times 3, and I'm like, okay, well,
right, okay. Okay, that's fair. Cool. Here we go. Heresy says, I know people that are still trying to finish the guard army from third. Indeed. Actually, there was one point. The reason I ended up painting like over 300 Cadians is, I think it might have been in the 4th edition book. There was a 4th edition Imperial Guard Codex. There was a shot where it was like just an enormous Imperial Guard army sort of laid out. It was just
it covers the table.
Yeah, it was just huge. And I looked at it and I was like, I know they didn't paint all of these models. They've gone in and they've just moved. They've taken a photo, moved them into the next spot, taken a photo, moved them to the next spot, taken a photo. And I spoke to the guy who was in charge of the book production at the time, and I said, hey, if I paint up all of these Imperial Guardsmen, can I get them in the next codex? And he was like, yep. And then by that time he was no longer working there, so that didn't happen. Bit of a shame.
I always wanted you to paint so again, anybody who hasn't heard me say this before, so Dave for the longest time is basically the R&D department for Games Workshop without being aware of it. So whatever Dave paints, like usually anywhere between 8 and 12 years later, Games Workshop will then release that. So he did he did his Custodes army, and then they were like, we're gonna do Custodes. Like, so like Dave is really good at this. So my favorite is in your armies, legions, and hordes, you have your Tanith first and only, and you have them with like trucks. And I always wanted to see you make a combined arms unit right out of the books where you could be like, here's all my tanks. They're all from the Vitrians. Like, so they're all like the tank unit that they're stacked with. You could have like, or you could have some of the other fun ones, like the guys from was it Fist of Padua and all those guys, like the guys that are in the name.
The Narmenians.
Yeah, the Narmenians. Like you could have them, and then you could have like the Vitrian Dragoons is all your like heavy support choices. So like all of your Kasserkin would just be Vitrian Dragoons, and then all of your like rank and file guys would all be Tanith. I thought it'd be really fun to see you do one of those where you're like, oh, it's Dave's Dan Abnett book army, so it's all like stuff from the books. I thought that would be really cool because you've done pieces of it, but I would love to see you like field a whole army, especially with the new detachments and stuff, to do something like that.
Yeah, that could be a fun thing to do. But I have a Tanith army at the moment that I'm running using
cults.
The cults rules. That's the one that I took to the UK last year and played on Tabletop Tactics with but this time around, so I've been listening to a lot of Dan Abnett books, a lot of Gaunt's Ghost books, and there are 2 armies in those books that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I want to work on. The first one is we should you saw very quickly. So very, very few photos online of these guys. So when before Gaunt got his posting to the Tanith, he was a junior commissar, like a commissar cadet in either the Hyrkans or the Hyrkans.
Yeah, Hyrkan. Yeah.
Depending on how you pronounce it. Folks that pronounce it differently. Even different people reading, basically who are narrating the audiobooks pronounce it differently. But anyway, so the regiment he was in beforehand, I always said the Hurricanes, the Hurricane 8th. There's a fantastic scene in one of them where he's sort of keeping an eye on an artillery battery up on the heights. It's a snowy ground, loads of snow all around. The work on the artillery pieces is really hot and sweaty. So all the guys have got their basically their shirts or their jackets off, and they've got their braces down, just loading shells in, snow melting all around. And
you want to paint a topless regiment? Okay.
Topless regiment. Nice. But no, they'd all have like singlets, like tank tops on. And I've already spoken with Mark Rayleigh about sculpting me some stuff for the artillery crews. But yeah, gray fatigues, basically white or like bone armor plates. It's kind of the description there. The field caps, there's a possibility I could even do it like that, or there's like the sergeant cap in the Cadian squad.
Oh, field caps, yeah. I love the envelope. I think the envelope is like one of the coolest hats out there. Like it's such a weird design, and it kind of became into prevalence like during World War I and World War II. But I love it. Like it's just a cool looking hat. The guy on the left definitely reads much more like German field gray. Like there's definitely some green in there.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just the photo, but that looks really cool. You could also do like on the guy on the right. I'm assuming this is a test model. Like you could do the.
This isn't one of mine. I will admit I didn't do the artwork on the left, and I didn't paint the guy on the right. But if you go look up Hurricane or Hurricane,
yeah,
images.
This would be your a test model kind of look.
Yeah.
The only thing I would do different on the guy on the right is because the model on the left has the shin guards or the putées. You could paint them on the guy on the right because the boots have a natural saddle. You could paint that so it's that same color.
Yeah, for sure.
But they look good. I dig that. So would you run a young Gaunt? Would you have like a junior commissar and just paint it up as Gaunt?
Yeah, for sure. So I'd have him in the list.
Nice.
I'd have a bunch of some of the other characters from the book. But it'd be a lot of artillery teams, mortar teams, that kind of thing. I'll have some tanks as well. But yeah, it'd mainly be the conversion work would be primarily on the artillery teams.
Okay.
But of course there would be some conversion work.
There's a lot of really good artillery now that like the Kriegers are out. You could use those same units and just use different use Cadian models for all the artillery. But those artillery things are crazy. Those like big guns and like you have all the heavy teams.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, there's some photos later in the community section for. Oops. No, what's going on?
Is that an Aquinar Sec?
Not yet, but so there's some photos later on in the community section of Justin McCoy's artillery pieces as well. So seeing those has been like, yeah, I really want to do something with them. But I think that would be pretty cool. Sorry, just laughing because Harry Caesar said, for a lore accurate Cadian, you could put a single scorched boot on a flying stand.
Yep. He's not wrong.
Fantastic. So this is option one. Do the Hurricane 8th.
Sure.
In the story, there's also talk about about half tracks. There's the new half track, which is basically like the M3 or the M5.
Yeah, that thing is cool looking.
It is cool looking, and it's almost exactly like the original half track. But yeah, so we'll be able to use that to sort of fit that in, and that'll look great. Like a couple of those will look great, sort of towing artillery pieces around.
Yeah,
it'd be cool to have or just do little setups. So you've got the artillery piece and one of those sort of sitting next to it with more shells in there, or the kit from the crew and all that sort of thing. So I love that idea. And the second option is Yeah, Anwar Sek, the Anarch, who is basically in the late stages of the Gaunt's Ghost series, is the Sons of Sek are an important sort of and the important opposing force. Blood Pact in the early days, Sons of Sek are modeled on the Blood Pact. But of course, it's all about he whose voice drowns out all others, and the whole hands covering the mouth thing. So
that's an Adrian Smith piece, right?
This piece,
Isn't it? No, it's not. No, it's not. That's
no.
Man, I forget who that is.
This is a Kopinski piece. This isn't specifically a son of Sek, but the Sons of Sek are described as having mustard-colored uniforms.
Yep.
And of course, mustard comes in a variety of colors. But yeah, this is one of the enforcers from the Chaos Militia troops that Forge World did.
Yeah. I mean, or the other option you could do, because they teased his model, you could do Caiaphas Kane's unit.
Nah, I'm good.
he's the best. His profile better be his profile better be awesome, because he's supposed to be an absolute superhero.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving him entirely to you.
He's great. And
then these are a couple of other pieces that have been shown. I think the guy on the right might be a fan piece, but the guy on the left there has the community tag on it. But you can see the hands across the face. So those hands are like actual Imperial hands that have been turned into leather. There's a leather mask across the face there.
That seems unhealthy.
It doesn't seem particularly healthy, but
it seems non-sanitary.
Again, with this, I'll be talking with Mark Rayleigh to sculpt me some basically helmets with hands as straps across the bottom.
I mean, I think you could pull off either of them. I would think that because you're doing, I mean, this whole squad is awesome. This
got to be great. This squad would be great to pull some, basically to start to mix these through with the Cadian models and other conversions, kind of thing. So,
I think that you could do either. I think the big one, I would think that because you're painting so much of the chaosy stuff in Trench Crusade, maybe do the Loyalist Army, because it'd be a totally different vibe. But yeah, I mean, I think you could do either. I mean, if you're gonna leave it up to the crowd, I would say, obviously people can vote. We can put up a poll on the Facebook page and stuff, where people can vote on it. But my vote would be for a young Gaunt with young Gaunt. I think that would be. I think that'd be cool. Plus, it'd be kind of nice to see all like you were saying, like the new half tracks and a lot of the new artillery stuff. I mean, that stuff's only been out for a couple of years, so you'd get to mess with a lot of the newer kits. You could run a Rogel Dorn in there too, which is a cool tank, and that'd be kind of
one of the things as well is that in Trader General, when Gaunt and the insertion team are on Geryon, and they're going in to take out the Trader General, spoiler alert, but they come up against basically the start of the formation of the Sons of Sek. But on the planet, there's a lot of use of half tracks of Steg 4s, is what they call it, like the smaller armored car. So a 4-wheeled version, essentially, of the 6-wheeled scout car that's the new Imperial Guard. So I could just make them Steg 6s.
Brandon makes a really good point. Are you building it to a point limit or for a collection? He said, because you could build it with the new detachment rules to build you could make it like an army diorama style, but then you could play them together using separate detachment rules, because they're both just guard. So you would run them both as guard units.
Sure, they both be guard, but I'd want to build an army, because my whole thing, the way that I build an army isn't dribs and drabs.
Mhm.
I'd do it all at once.
Oh,
To
I'm
see
well
like,
aware. Like Dave is an all-in guy, all chips to the middle of the table. But Brandon, that's a
Yeah.
very clever. That's very clever. It's a very clever idea.
yeah, pretty clever for me.
I mean, all you really need to make is McVenner, and then you just win. Like he just kills everybody. Like
I've got a McVenner.
you don't even need the whole army. You just need him.
I made him out of the McCall figure in the box of 6. I have a conversion where he's sort of squatting there with a staff.
Well, the cool thing is if you really run a McVenner, you don't need a model for him. He's just on the table somewhere.
He's on the table.
You just every turn you pick some terrain, and then you just kill an enemy unit that's near the terrain.
Remove the unit, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, "Where's McVenner?" You're like, "He was there. Obviously, he's gone now."
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, he's
but yeah, so those are my two choices. I'll let what we'll do is after the show goes onto YouTube, everybody who comments puts a comment in there for the next 2 weeks, actually until the end of the season. So just for episode, so this is episode 17. On episode 20, we'll announce what it's going to be.
Okay.
Based on comments below this video.
I get a couple I'm messing with. I think I'm either going to do. I get 2 I'm working on right now. I got to figure out which one to do. I'm either going to do.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Lords of the Maelstrom. Go.
Like I said, I got this.
I think,
but I wanted. But we were so close to 11th. I was like, well, I want to wait and see what the rules look like. So I'm gonna once I get the rules, I'm gonna see what these. This is a possibility. Yep. It's basically everything in that box plus another. It's like 6 more units. So that's like half the army. But that's option 1, and then option 2 is I might do knights because I actually have a ton of knights, and that new Destrier kit.
Yep.
Chef's kiss. That is such a cool model. There are way too many like optional assembly builds.
Right.
Like they made it, and there's the GW's new thing now is they're always like, oh, glue. Oh, no glue. Don't use glue on that part. You can literally make the whole model so he's fully posable, which is crazy because then he just looks like one of those like sad marionettes with no strings because like it doesn't want to stay in that position. Once it's primed, I'm sure it will a little bit better. But I've just been gluing it. I cut all of the guide tabs they have. Like there's a bunch of guides where it's like the arm should be like this, but if you cut the guide, you can change the position. Yeah, like they did that for all of his legs. He has the bird legs.
That's the same sort of thing across all of the.
Yeah. Well, except for the original one, it's like standing up legs. There's no options.
The legs. There's no options, but I mean, anywhere there is an option.
Sure.
Oh no. Yeah. Anyway.
But the Destrier, it is lousy with options. Like there's a ton of them. So I've been like cutting all the guides so I can kind of customize it, and then I just add a little bit of plastic at the last minute, put it in the position I want, and then like have it be solidified there. But yeah. So to do that, I would basically have. I think that list ends up being 4 regular knights, a Destrier, and and 1 Armager. But I might drop one of the knights, and then I could have another Destrier and another Armager.
Okay.
So I'm gonna mess again. I want to see what the rules are like, and like who knows what the points are gonna look like. Maybe I'll just be able to do that anyways. It seems like as the editions go forward, they keep dropping the points. So, but yeah, those would be my next 2. It's either gonna be knights or renegades. Yeah,
I'm gonna guess that's gonna end up being knights. Because the fewest spots from
yeah, I mean that's true, but I also do like painting Space Marines. So
and you love those the Corsair models.
Yeah, the Corsairs are really, really cool.
Dave Hummel says that surprise, surprise, for 11th edition, he's gonna be adding more Primaris companies to the Shadowhawks. Yes.
At this one, I feel like the Shadowhawks have a what do you call it?
A non-codex compliant.
No. I mean, they're definitely non-codex compliant, but like I'm totally spacing out because they're not one of the original legions, but like there's like it's like they already have like a spin-off chapter.
All right. Okay. Yeah. There's enough in there for a
yeah. Like there's the Shadowhawks, and then there's like some other like Legion. Yeah, there's a Shadowhawk successor that's like all Primaris Marines that they showed up with the Primaris reinforcements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, and I also I've been waiting for all the big one I've been waiting for is with I've had a Blood Angels army basically since I want to say like 3rd or 4th edition. And I've had the same list. I've slightly added stuff each edition as they've made the points different or they've changed around stuff. But the big one I've been waiting for is to be able to do the whole army just converted to Primaris. And now that the Vanguard vets and the chaplain are out, I might just take all that stuff and all the extra Primaris stuff I have and just make an updated version of my Blood Angels army. Again, it's the same army I would run now. I would just make it all Primaris scale, so it would all be true scale. Yeah. That's the other option. But I think either the pirates or the knights would be cool.
Excellent. Just quickly, I will call out. Brendan said by doing 2 1,000-point armies, I'll be halfway to a build, paint, play team.
That's true.
For 40K team tournament at Adepticon next year. Yes, Brendan knows what I'm going to say about that, but hopefully, I don't know if you've been talking with Phil about it, but I'm trying to convince Phil to put together a factory team tournament thing and do some content on it leading up to it.
I'd be cool with that. I think
sweet.
We talked about the other day on the show, or on the our group call that we do, yep. And so Courtney has said that she wants to like learn how to play a little more, and Phil and I already play all the time. So we were saying we should do a factory team to enter into the team tournament.
Yep.
So at the moment, it looks like it would be myself, Courtney, and Phil, and then we have to find another person to add, and it would either be either you or it would be who we talked to somebody. I forget who it was. I don't remember. Maybe either like you or Sam to do the training. But again, there's enough of us. We could enter 2 teams. Like
that's if everybody was in doing it. But I have other things that I have planned for next.
Okay. Yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, I will be playing in the Horus Heresy event. So if it's the same time, like I'm out.
I will say that the team tournament at Adepticon is the thing that got me like really excited. The first time I went to Adepticon as a guest in 2005 and came back 2006, 2007, 2008, I didn't come back to 2009. That was when my daughter was born. But yeah, playing the team tournament each of those years. Brendan says genius idea. He says that because it was his idea. All good. Yes, the factory team indeed. Team factory team.
Nice.
Louis says he's going to go with the successor chapter, Blackguard. They love firepower.
Nice.
Cool. Excellent. So, cool. Should we have a look at the community?
Yeah, let's check it out
for this week. Let's take a look. Okay, so everybody, all these minis are from our Facebook group, the Build Paint Play community. Head to Facebook. There's a link down below, so you can go and check that out, or just head to Facebook, type in Build Paint Play community, click join group, and somebody will let you in.
Dude, that old school block knot still, I love it.
He's
so tiny. He's so teeny.
Yep. Yeah, it is cool though. I think Aaron's definitely having a lot of fun with these guys, and I didn't get to squeeze in I think it posted a photo today of after the sort of the, I guess, success of the face on this guy. He posted a new shot. One of these other models is getting a facelift now that he's really confident about painting faces, which is cool.
Nice. Dude, these are great. I owned all of these models. The old metal Terminators, they're so tiny. Like even that Terminator captain is noticeably bigger than the Terminators. Like it's like, yeah. And he's tiny also.
Yeah.
Recognize that that guy in the front, the heavy bolter Marine. So
Right.
that's a plastic Jess Goodwin Marine with a metal backpack and a metal heavy bolter.
Yep. Yep.
I hated mixed material kits. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. I think it's cool. Nice work, Aaron.
They look awesome.
Moving on, Brendan. Brendan's been painting up some more objectives and other pieces of terrain for
his torture room.
Yep, for his torture room, exactly. It's for the Trench Crusade Overlord campaign that he's going to be running at the end of the month. Looking good there. And more furniture for the rooms.
Nice.
So Overlord is essentially like it's a cooperative dungeon crawl where everybody's fighting against the Overlord, one player that plays the all the bad guys or the good guys, depending on how you're morally standing.
Sure.
But yeah, but no, it's looking good there, Brendan. Very cool. I love the that you used a green cloth here underneath the torture instruments, rather than just a white cloth or black. The green just adds that extra dimension. And very cool. Excellent. Nice one. Mark Moxie says looks like HeroQuest terrain.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. Well spotted. So Chris Gorka.
Sick.
This is a repulsor?
That's a repulsor executioner.
Executioner, right. Okay.
The executioner always has like they all have the smaller gun, and then the executioner has a tank killing weapon that's the other main gun.
All right. It's like a laser destroyer kind of thing.
Yeah, it has either the laser destroyer or like the plasma gun.
Right. But yeah, looking great there, Chris.
This thing is awesome.
The yellows are very cool.
I do find it hilarious that with all the 8th and 9th edition stuff with the Primaris Marines, they decided to put like heavy stubbers on Space Marine vehicles, and you're like, why would a Space Marine vehicle have heavy stubbers? Like,
right.
Like it's not in the lore. You're like, it would have bolters on it. It would not have heavy stubbers. It has a pair in the back and one that's pintle mounted. I'm like, I get it. It's a 50 cal, but you have bolt guns. Like,
yeah. One of my favorite things has been like, I'm up to the final book in the Gonsko series, the Anarch, and they're talking a lot about the crew served weapons and the .30s. So it's like, okay, so that's the round for a .30 is like 7.5 millimeters.
Yep. And
then they talk about the heavy, basically the a belt fed heavier weapon that is a .20.
Yep.
And it's like that's the that round is the width of my fingernail on my little finger.
Yeah.
It's not as impressive as it sounds.
If it's the size of that, that's probably like a 7.62.
No, well, 7.62 is basically like 0.30 because the like a .5, like a 50 cal.
Yeah,
that's half an inch. The width of the round is half an inch, so which is 12.5 millimeters. Yeah. So
the 50 cal is a terrifying weapon. The craziest thing about that gun is like you don't even need to get hit by it. Like if it passes within a couple of feet of you, it will just knock you out.
Right.
Which is wild.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. 12.7 or 50 cal. But yeah, so I agree with you. Having the heavy stubbers on a Space Marine vehicle is kind of strange.
Yeah, you're like, why are we doing this? Like, you're like, that should just be like up on top. It should just be a storm bolter, or if you really want to go spicy, it should be a single heavy bolter.
Yep. Excellent. Oh, I just saw Cat Swift has joined us. She said, perfect timing. Excellent. And Cat said they should just rename that paint to Gorka's Yellow because he owns it.
Yeah, he does such a good job with his panel shading too.
Yeah.
He almost does the inverse shading. Like, so looking at the side panels, it goes orange into yellow and then orange into yellow. And then he picks out the edges in bright yellow.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool stuff, Chris. Nice
Some
work.
Boar Boys.
Boar Boys, yep. Some old school Boar Boys. These are like 2nd edition Warhammer.
Yeah, I think so.
Third edition, maybe. But yeah, looking really cool. So this is my buddy Glenn, who is over in the UK at the moment. He painted. He's been working on an Orc and Goblin army, so he's just added these to his collection.
He's got the old school. He's got the old school paper banner.
Paper banner as well. Yep.
Love it.
The paper banner's from a little bit later than it's from like 4th edition.
Yeah. It's when they started putting them out, you could cut them out.
Yeah. But yeah, looking really cool here, Glenn. Very nice. And I like that you tied them into your goblins with the moon shield.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah. But yeah, very cool. Nice one, Glenn. Next up, Sulin. Sulin has finished off the
Kill Team Cassius.
Cassius. Yeah, so Chaplain Cassius in the front.
He did such a good job on these. Like the skin tone on the Space Wolf's head is crazy.
Oh, it is insane. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, loads of great models. So there's a Blood Angel, an Iron Hand, Dark Angel, Raven Guard, Salamander, Space Wolf, Imperial Fist, 2 Ultramarines, a Blood Raven, and a White Scar.
Yeah, I like how they were like, let's do all the original chapters. We'll do 2 Ultramarines, and then we're gonna do a Blood Raven. It's like, what? Like,
yeah.
I think the coolest models in this box, I think, are the White Scar Biker is amazing.
Yep.
So dynamic. It has the bird on his antenna, like the bike's at an angle, like he's turning it. It's just really cool. The Space Wolf is amazing.
Yep.
There's so much dynamism in him. Both of the Jump Marines are cool. They don't read as well because they're almost like bookends. Like they literally mirrored them. They just flipped the sculpt. So they both have their left arm, like their inside arm is down.
Yeah.
Their outside arm is up. And then they both have the same leg down, and then their outer leg is bent. And they're cool. Like I have them. I think the best model in the box is the Salamander.
Right.
That model is incredible. Like they sculpted like Drake scale on like the chest plate.
Yep.
He has that built-in integral melt-a-gun in his power fist, which is, I was like, every power fist should just come with that. He's got a heavy flamer because he's a salamander. He's got the rebreather rig on the helmet with the extra tubes, which is cool. Yeah, that model is amazing.
Yeah, it does look fantastic.
The only thing that stinks about this box is they put this box out right at the tail end of 7th. So the models are amazing, and they're all wearing technically they're wearing Mark 9 armor. So the Space Marines all have like a raised gorget protecting their throats, and then they all have hip plates, and they have like oh no, it's not this box. It's the box after this. Right. But these guys are all firstborn. So they're super tiny if you use them with anything else on the table.
Yeah. Yep.
The Dark Angel is I think the laziest sculpt. Like they were like, how do we make him a Dark Angel? They're like, put him in a bathrobe.
Yep. But yeah,
the Iron Hand is cool with his like robot leg.
Yeah, absolutely.
His half face. Yeah, that white scar is just dope.
Yeah. But yeah, beautiful work, Celine. They look fantastic. Awesome. There are a couple more photos on the Facebook group as well, if you want to go and check those out. Next up, Justin McCoy. So I was talking before about the snow aspect. This is where he's up to with his Death Corps army.
They look good.
Yep, looking cool there.
Their Death Riders are so cool.
Now, in this case, Heavy Stubbers doesn't seem so crazy, right? Twin Heavy Stubbers.
Well, those are crew served autocannons.
No, they're Heavy Stubbers.
Really?
Yeah. There's a single, like if there's a single mount, which is the autocannon, or the twin Heavy Stubbers.
That's wild.
Yeah. They also have a heavy flamer option for the crew served piece, but yeah, looks really cool.
Yeah, those are awesome. The Kriegers are such nice kits.
They are. They're really good. I think Brendan earlier was trying to get me to to do a Steel Legion, convert Steel Legion out of Deathcore.
Oh, you could totally do that. That'd be really straightforward.
You could, but it would still be too much work.
I don't think you'd have to convert them as much as you think. You'd basically just have to, on each one of them, you would just want to file off the ridge on the helmet. Like that's
yeah, you wouldn't put the backpacks on, but I have to see whether the strapping went all the way. Like basically, if it has the straps, and then the backpack goes on top of that, or if they've just put a flat back. I'm not sure.
You could do the backpacks.
They're not really part of the Steel Legion look. But anyway, and there's the
dude. I love his Hellhound.
Yeah, it's just been through it, hasn't it?
Yep.
It just looks fantastic.
That burner has done some work.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd still have the straps, Heresy, but the idea of having to sculpt all of them is just annoying. That's all. But yeah, great work, Justin. Very cool. Next up, Mark Maxey. Mark said he apologized to me for taking a break from his little gnome house because he wanted to work on this.
Very cool.
Like a like a Nurgle fly spawn erupting from the what do you call it? My mind's gone blank.
Well, it's like his head just floated away.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks like Watto from Star Wars.
Right.
He's got his little elephant trunk and his teeth.
Yep. Absolutely. But it looks very cool. And Mark has started painting as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Again, he's so good at eyes.
Yeah, it just stands out and grabs your attention. But no, looking very cool there, Mark. He says he's messing around with the butterfly look. But it's 100.
Oh yeah.
Sort of coming out. He says he's changed the wings. So have you've painted them differently? I look forward to seeing how they're looking now. I think it's a really tough one because there are so many. I think there are obviously so many butterflies, so many different patterns or approaches. Not approaches.
I think if you're going to do butterfly wings, you have to pick a butterfly and do that. You know what I mean? Like you're like, this is going to be a monarch, or this is going to be a Lunamoth, or this is going to be, you know what I mean? Like I think you have to pick one because butterflies are so specific looking. I don't think you can wing it. No pun intended. I think you need to literally like pick the one you want to do and then try to mimic that.
I think as well that our brain expects to see sort of dark lines separating the color on a butterfly wing, like a monarch. But so if you pick something that isn't like that, our brain gets like, there's something wrong. There's something not complete about it. So I think it's kind of an odd one. But Mark said he's going to post it later.
Nice.
So definitely go and check that out. But yeah, it's looking really cool, Mark. Very nice. Super creative.
Dig it.
Next up, Patrick. So mentioned Patrick is working on the Tauros Venators, I think, or just the Tauros or Taurus vehicles. He switched them over from Necromunda to be able to use in his Imperial Guard army or his Astra Militarum army.
I mean, that's the loadout. I like how there's a big Melta and a little Melta.
Yeah. Well, I think that scout car vehicle has this option. It has like a Melta lance and a coaxial Melta gun that you can go for it. But I'm pretty sure that these have been sculpted by Patrick. But yeah,
very nice.
Really cool. Yeah, there we go. The Hippogriff loadout.
Nice.
But yeah, it makes sense that you just trade those over and use those as hippogriffs. It's definitely cool. But yeah,
it goes from being a Jeep that it's a Jeep that could blow up one of your tanks. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I always go on all of my Achilles Ridge runners for my Gene Stealer cult. They're all las cannons or mining lasers. Sorry, but again, so you can blow up tanks with them.
Nice.
It's so many guys with auto guns. Can't blow up tanks with auto guns.
Nope, not really. He'll just annoy him.
Yeah. And yeah, Patrick said he enjoyed doing one, so he did 2.
That's a cool kit.
It is. It is a great kit. I love it. I have one somewhere around here, somewhere down here. I don't know exactly where, but I'll find it one day. But yeah, looking really good, Patrick. Loving them. I love all the weathering powders that you've been using as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
Fires. Yeah, looking good. Next up, Pete Hairston. Pete was also inspired. So there's a fantastic piece of art from the upcoming Carcass Front box for Trench Crusade, which is called the Steel Necropolis. And it's basically just a big field, a massive field of wrecked tanks stuck in mud. And when I say massive, it's enormous. It's not just a like sports field or anything like that. It's absolutely huge.
It is hilarious. These are all like mid and late World War II tanks.
Yep.
So very, very cool.
The great thing about this is I think Pete got these are all toys. They're all plastic toys.
Yeah.
And he got them for like, I think, well, it looks like he got 2 sets. And I think it was like $10 a set off eBay.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Dave, I was going to say the same thing. He's we got to make sure he doesn't get like, scurvy. So he's got his bag of oranges, keep him with vitamin C.
I think when Judge Schaefer saw this, he said, "Oh, defend the produce."
Yep.
But yeah, well, he's got something heavier. He's weighing something down. I think he's got something being glued underneath. But yeah, excited to see how Pete tackles the rest of this. But it's going to look fantastic. Very exciting. Essentially, he's creating trenches in between these washed-up tanks.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Next up, Sean Gleason. So
nice.
Sean finished off his Lumineth Realm Lord Commander.
That orange is great.
It is, isn't it? Super vibrant.
I do like a good orange.
Yeah. Just sort of really wonderful depth there in those. So you've got the lighter scales underneath, and then as soon as it hits the smaller scales, just that really intense, almost lava orange. But yeah, looking very cool there, Sean.
Definitely one of the coolest helmets around too.
With the wings at the side and the crest as well.
Yeah. You're like he cannot walk near trees ever.
Yep. He's got a duck going through doorways as well. But yeah. Oh, there we go. Contrast blend.
Nice.
To get the richness of the orange there. Fantastic. What's the unit, I guess? What's the Lumineth Realm Lord's unit called? Because I know that you've used one of the Cathayan models for the creature, which I think it's the Longmar.
Oh, I think this is it's probably one of the weird, like, it's not a bat. It's like I forget what it's called. Yeah, I don't know the Realm Lords.
But Sean can let us know. But yeah, looking very cool there, Sean. We've got a lot of shots from different angles as well in the Facebook group. So definitely go and check that out. And then Stephen Ryder. So I think he said this is a Ralpatha Legacy.
Yeah, onager, or like just a bolt thrower.
Onager. But yeah, looking super cool there.
I can hear this thing
being ratcheted back.
Yeah, that ka-chunk is just like
as a let's go.
Staples somebody to a wall.
Right. Absolutely. But yeah, looking very cool. A nice simple basing as well.
That's right. I need to run over and like Dukes of Hazzard across the top and kick these 2 skeletons in the face, and then swing this thing around to shoot smog.
Right. That'd be the way to do it. You are indeed. I can't even remember his name. It's not Bran.
Oh, Bard the Guardsman.
Bard. But there we go. But yeah, awesome work, Steve. And also,
there we go. There's your new army, Dave.
I'm telling you, I'd be tempted.
Because like you're like, well, I like dwarves, but also I like guardsmen. You're like, why not do both? Just do squats.
Yep, for sure. But no, I've got still got some Votan units to finish off, so I'll get there eventually. But he's looking very cool there, Steven.
Very cool.
I love his. I love that yellow as well. The almost mustard yellow. That'll be the other fun part, is working out which of the mustards to go with. Might just do a mix. Of course, they're all going to be like sweat stained and blood stained and all that kind of thing.
There's a lot of the contrasts that are really nice.
Yep.
In that range, there's a lot of like really similar tones. You could do, you can mix and match them. Because again, it would make sense that their uniforms don't all match, but
yeah,
they're close.
Yeah, absolutely. Lyrior kit. Should have made that option. Okay. Lyrior. No wonder I didn't remember it. But thanks for that, Sean. And excellent work there, Stephen. Okay, next week, I think that's the final one. So next week on the show, we've got an old buddy of ours, Blair Mackey. Nice. So we worked with Jake and I worked with Blair at Games Workshop. I worked with Blair when he was at Battlefront, and also so now we haven't worked with him since then. But Blair is currently a salesman for One Page Rules.
Yep.
So we're going to have a bit of a chat about Blair's career and a bit of a chat about One Page Rules and what they've got going on at the moment.
David says, "Thank you, David Jake. Thank you, Armageddon. Thank you, 11th edition box as a guest."
Absolutely.
Great guest. They did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Heavy lifting for sure. I hardly had to say anything.
Yeah, seriously.
But no, awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to hang out with Blair and chat with him next week. If anybody's still listening, make sure you guys like, subscribe, listen, hit the bell, all that good stuff. You can make sure you go online, hit the link. You can still back Art of. How many days do you have left?
3 days. So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay.
So
so you can still back that. If anybody needs any of the other books, let me know. I know at the store, I know we have most of them in stock. I think there's a couple that I'm out of. But you can also use the custom tab on alphamegahobby.com, and you can message me and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for this one," and I can just order it and add it for you. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right. If anybody needs the core set, obviously go to your friendly local game store. If you can't get it there, we will also have it available. It goes over pre-order this Saturday.
Right. Yeah.
So we will have it. I'm happy to ship it if anybody needs it. Like I said, I'm gonna end up getting one, like, for all my talk about, like, I don't really know. I'm gonna end up buying it anyways, just so I can have the rules early and mess with it. What I will probably do is I will most likely there's a couple guys in the store who want the orc half.
Right.
And I'll probably just be like, yeah, and I'll just, flip them the orc half or whatever. But yeah, also, it'd be weird to not get it. I think I've bought every starter set. Like I said, I didn't buy 6th.
Yep.
And I didn't buy 2nd, but everything else I think I bought. So
nice. Cool. Okie dokie. I think we are ready to go.
All right. Everybody take it easy, be safe. If you need anything, let us know. You can post stuff in BuildPaintPlay community if there's any models you're working on. If you want any feedback or if you want any help, you can also post in there. The community is super helpful. If you need to get in touch with us, you can message us on Facebook as well. I think we're both around for the next little bit. I don't have a show until end of the month. I'm going to be gone to GameCon Canada, but that's not for 3 weeks or something, or 4 weeks.
It's less, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no.
Coming up in 2 weeks. But anyway, so episode 20 is going to be after you're back from GameCon Canada.
Oh, nice. Okay.
exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
see photos and hear tales.
Everybody be safe. We will talk to you guys next week. And as always, do not forget to build, paint, play.
And sit down. Shut up and sit down.